Ben, welcome to our show.
Greetings, Shawn. You sure know how to pick a controversial subject.
Yeah.
As you can tell, being a fellow chemist and pharmacist, from the word benzone, you're dealing with a molecule that can be quite toxic. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, you may remember, or you may have heard, that they found benzene in some of these sun protection products because benzones can get broken down or similar to benzenes. Benzene being a very powerful carcinogen. So the benzones, which block UVA, are extremely toxic. Even the UVB blockers like octamethoxycinnamide and octocrylene and octosalicylate, these are also cytotoxic. They also have a certain amount of cellular toxicity, but the UVA blockers are over the top toxic. That's number one. So you've got a problem with UVB blockers because you're going to stay out in the sun longer, contacting more UVA. Number two, if you throw in a UVA blocker, now you're dealing with extra toxicity. Number three, the chemical sunscreens are known as gender benders. They're endocrine disrupting chemicals. They have estrogenic properties, and as I'm sure you know, these days we have a big issue with something called xenoestrogens, these foreign estrogens. In fact, in Hawaii, they've actually banned the use of these chemical sunscreens because they don't want the gender bending effects and the toxic effects of these chemicals in the water. Chemicals are toxic to the coral, in addition to being toxic to cells. So you've got toxicity, you've got mostly UVB blocker. If you throw in a UVA blocker, you've got extra toxicity on top of everything else. SPF, sun protection factor, is a measurement of how long you can stay out in the sun without burning, and it doesn't tell you anything about UVA block. So you can wear a SPF of 30, of 60, of 90, but you don't have any idea of how much UVA protection you're getting. There's no metric for UVA protection. So you may not be getting any UVA protection. You may be getting a modicum of UVA protection. You really have no idea what you're getting. And the real issue is, with all these problems associated with the chemical, or if you like, organic sunscreens, you have this wonderful alternative, which is the inorganic sunscreens, or if you prefer, physical sunscreens or mineral sunscreens, formerly known as sunblocks, which, number one, block everything. They block UVA and UVB. Number two, they're non-toxic, particularly one form of inorganic sunscreen called zinc oxide, which is not only a complete block, not only blocks UVA and UVB, but it's a healing agent. Not only is it non-toxic, but you can actually put it on your sunburn and have it heal your sunburn. As you know, you have in your pharmacy, I'm sure, zinc oxide. It's a tried and true pharmacy remedy, zinc oxide. And if you need some topical protection, go with zinc oxide. That being said, the sun is your friend. Right. The sun's awesome. We have this collective heliophobia that has people terrified of the dome lights in their cars, let alone the sun. You know, people are just running in from the sun. They're terrified about getting sun on their faces or on their bodies. Well, it turns out that this UVB, the burning ray, is also the vitamin D ray. Yeah. Right? And we have a big problem with vitamin D deficiencies. And while healthcare professionals who don't understand chemistry will say, oh, you can get your vitamin D from supplements and you can get your vitamin D from food. The best vitamin D is the solar vitamin D that hits the solar rays that hit the cholesterol in your skin and turn it into vitamin D. That form of vitamin D doesn't need to get activated the same way that oral vitamin D does. Oral vitamin D needs to be activated in the liver and the kidney. If you have fatty liver disease or kidney disease, you may not be activating your vitamin D that you're taking orally or supplementally. You don't have to worry about that with solar vitamin D. So don't let any healthcare professional tell you, oh, you can just get your vitamin D from food or supplements. It's not the same as the natural vitamin D that's formed as a response to the solar interaction with cholesterol in the skin. So the sun's your friend. You want to get out in the sun. You want to have as much of your skin covered with the sun. It's not enough just to go walk the dog with a T-shirt. You want to be laying out in your backyard in your bikini or less. You know, don't freak out your neighbors. You know, be respectful. But, you know, just get as much of your skin contacted with the sun, and then make sure that you're supplementing with solar protective nutrients, antioxidants, as well as pigments. Topically, go zinc oxide. If you have to go with the chemical sunscreen, get it off your skin as soon as you come in from the sun.
Well, I love your wisdom and knowledge about all things skincare. I mean, you are just amazing, and you never cease to amaze me and teach me. And one thing I want to go back to is that, these chemical sunscreens, and really even for that matter, mineral sunscreens, sunblock versus sunscreens, they're really only about Ben, 50, 60, 70 years old, maybe?
Probably. What are we talking about? Yeah, maybe the 1960s copper tone. The first one that came out was that copper tone thing. Yeah, they're not that old. They haven't been around the 50s or 60s, I think, when they started to come out.
So what did we do to protect ourselves from the sun 100 years ago? For one thing, we did sunblock type things. We wore clothes. If we were going to get too much sun, we wore hats.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
But we still got sun. And you're talking about vitamin D, but there are so many things that the sun does that we don't even know that
That's
it's
right. That's right. Serotonin.
All kinds of neurotransmitters that we don't even know.
That's right.
So getting outside in the sun is beneficial. And if you think,
don't burn. Just don't burn. Everybody loves the sun. We feel better when we're out in the sun.
Right.
You're healthier when you're out in the sun. There's something called seasonal affective disorder. People don't get enough sun. Where you're at, I don't know if it's in Moses Lake, but in Seattle, on the West Coast, right? Seasonal affective disorder. People are depressed when they're not out in the sun. We love the sun. We feel better when we're out in the sun. Don't burn. And make sure you're getting your nutrition so that you can be protected from some of the effects of aging. And by the way, building a strong skin barrier is extremely important, not just for sun protection, but also for protecting your skin from dryness, protecting your skin from other environmental assaults. And the barrier of the skin, the stratum corneum barrier, is a wonderful place to work to keep the entire organ healthy, using things like niacin and topical retinol and topical vitamin C, fat-soluble vitamin C, using exfoliation strategies. These are wonderful ways to strengthen the skin barrier. And in addition to using your pigments and your internal nutritional supplements, you'll make your skin stronger and more resilient and more resistant to the damage that can accrue from solar radiation.
Absolutely. And one thing I'd like to mention too, or I want your opinion on, you mentioned it really quickly, but there's been some thoughts about zinc oxide versus titanium dioxide, and titanium dioxide being one of the sunblocks, inorganic sunblocks, and titanium dioxide being toxic. Can you talk about that versus zinc oxide?
They're not toxic, but some of the new formulas are nanophilized. They make them in very, very small particles, and it's thought that some of these small particles can enter into the bloodstream. So that can be a problem. Titanium itself, there's no titanium in your body unless you have like a knee replacement or something like that. But titanium is not a mineral that the body uses, not an element that the body uses for any chemistry, which is why I prefer zinc oxide. Yeah, and the only downside with zinc oxide is that it's pricey. But you know what? You're worth it. Your skin's worth it. So to me, the price differential between titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, or a chemical sunscreen and zinc oxide, it's not that big a deal, because your skin is the largest organ of your body and you want it healthy. And you don't want to introduce toxicity not only to your skin topically, but internally, because we know that these chemical sunscreens go through the skin and they make it into the bloodstream, and there's measurable amounts of these things in, as I say, plasma and breast milk and other bodily fluids. As far as topical skincare goes, the best and the most important topical ingredients are going to be nutrients. That's why with my True Skin Health products, they're topical nutritional supplements. Vitamin C, fat soluble. Vitamin A in its retinol or retinoic acid form. Plant-derived minerals. Vitamins D and E and A and K. All of these nutrients do for your skin what they do for the inside of your body. They support growth. They suppress sensitivities and immune reactions. They're important for the production of various connective tissue fibers and goos, polysaccharides like hyaluronic acid, for example, and collagen and elastin. Topical nutrients are by far the most important skincare ingredients you could ever use. And then make sure that you're exercising your skin. But here's the thing, your skin needs to exercise too. And that's what exfoliation is. Exfoliation is taking your skin to the gym. And that means disturbing the stratum corneum to initiate the growth of new skin cells, as well as the production of connective tissue fibers. And after you exfoliate, just like after you come home from the gym, when you come home from the gym, you want to be doing your creatine, your B vitamins, your branched chain aminos, your whey protein, your nutrients, essentially your minerals. Likewise with the skin, after you exfoliate or take your skin to the gym, as I say, or exercise your skin, you want to drive those topical nutrients into your skin, and your skin will suck up those nutrients like a dry sponge sucks up water. And it's the combination of exfoliation, topical nutrients, especially fat-soluble vitamin C and retinol, and internal nutrition is going to give your skin that youthful, healthy, beautiful glow that we use Botox and we use fillers and we use makeup to imitate. I say, why imitate? Why simulate healthy, beautiful skin when you can stimulate healthy, beautiful skin?
I agree 100%. And I will tell you, my wife Janet started using your products, True Treatment Systems, and changing her diet a few years ago. And she's Norwegian, so she used to not be able to tolerate any kind of sun at all. And now she can tolerate sun, and her skin looked healthy already because she just wouldn't go out in the sun, but she can go out in the sun and her skin looks healthier than ever.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. Thank you, Ben. As always, I love your wisdom and your knowledge. You've helped us to realize our goal, which is to educate and empower individuals to take charge of their own health.